arms or in your legs or in the limbs. So bottom line, the secret to losing that stubborn body fat in the midsection is to focus on fat loss for longer. So it's not any secret trick like, oh, you do this ab crunch and you're going to melt away the belly fat or anything like that. It's the secret to getting leaner is to do this longer. And one thing I want to share, this applies for weight loss in general. Stop thinking of it as like a diet or something that you're going to do for a short term. Like, oh, I'm going to go on a 30-day diet, or I'm going to go on a 12-week program or whatever. Like having this short term, like start end date type thing. This is something you do for the rest of your life. Like there is no end date. There's no finish line. It's just, we're starting, but there is no finish line. This is something you do for the rest of your life. And if you adopt that mindset, the progress will happen. Sure, it's going to take time, but that's all we have. We have time. And instead of thinking like, where do I want to be this week or, next week, next month, next whatever, think longer. Think like, where do you want to be, in a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years, 10 years from now? Like think bigger, right? Like I could see Teddy 3 to 5 years from now, based on the actions you're taking now, you're going to be totally transformed compared to where you are now, but it's going to take time.
Yes.
Right. It ain't a 12-week program, right? There we are. We're on the telly in the back.
Hi, everybody. Okay. Any more questions? I don't know if you can see them, Lee. Maybe one more question. Maybe one more. I'll go take a little leak real quick, and then Lee's going to give me hopefully a challenge, but a workout that you can also do with us today. So if you have a question, moderators, thank you for moderating. Remember, we're trying to keep the trolls down. Thank you, everybody. If you have a question, ask Lee. Otherwise, if there's no questions, if you wouldn't mind just telling everybody once again the Body Over 40 and where they can get it.
Go to the bathroom, Mark. Right. There's one question I just seen there. This is a good one from Miss Big Sexy. Okay, gotta love the name. How do you feel about carnivore or keto diets? And this is something that's a latest craze. Like a lot of times you hear people talking about, I got to lose weight. I got to cut my carbs. Carbs are bad. I mean, they do work. There's any type of diet where you're restricting calories, whether it comes from carbohydrates, whether it just comes from food in general, however you do it, it all works. But the thing you got to look at is when you cut out food groups. So, for example, a carnivore diet, you cut out all plant-based food groups. You're neglecting a lot of nutrients there. And when it comes to carbohydrates, that's your high octane fuel source. That's the stuff that gives you a lot of energy, especially when you're doing exercise. Body fat and fat calories in general, that's kind of like a low octane fuel source. That's the calories you burn when you're not doing anything intense. So like right now, me sitting down doing this video chat, I'm burning primarily body fat. I mean, sure, I'm burning calories, but it's not intense. I'm not exerting myself. Whereas if we were in the gym lifting weights, or if we went out for a run, or we did something more strenuous, we're burning a lot more carbohydrates. That's the kind of like the high octane fuel. And you even heard Teddy mention earlier, when he's eating less, because he's on the restrictive diet, he has less stamina. That's because there's less carbohydrates in his body and he has to resort to burning body fat. So the problem with these diets, when you're cutting out carbohydrates, is very often you'll suffer from lower energy. Now, it can work from a weight loss point of view, but from a sustainable long-term point of view, it's probably not the best thing. I like to focus on a well-balanced diet. So like instead of cutting out carbohydrates and stuff, let's focus on a well-balanced diet of equal ratios of protein, equal ratios of carbohydrates, equal ratios of healthy fat, and eat things in balance and proportion. And I actually wrote a blog post about this years ago, sharing how I came about this, because I've tried low carb, I've tried low fat, I've tried vegan, I've tried a lot of different diets. And it's when I come back to a well-balanced diet, it just works better. And you don't go through the ups and downs and mood swings and hunger cravings and all the unbearable sides of dieting. So personally, I'm not a huge fan of these carnivore and keto diets. I'm a fan of a well-balanced diet.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. You're back? You're relieved?
Yeah.